Coming up today on Locked On Texas Tech, Emergency Edition. The best, most awesome, at long last, good news you've been waiting for. Next on Locked On Texas Tech.
You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We're going to start this thing off right. Raider! Everything runs through Lubbock.
Great to be with you again on Locked On Texas Tech on the Locked On Podcast Network. Back with you for this emergency breaking news episode. You may have heard it by now, but at long last, five-star wide receiver Micah Hudson has made his pledge to Texas Tech public. This has been highly anticipated, Chris. And, of course, we're still going to have some time to anticipate actual football impact, so keep that in mind. But we'll get into a little bit of that here today. But, man, this has been probably one of the most interesting, I guess, paths to a commitment that I've followed in quite some time. It's because of Mr. Hudson's level of talent and potential impact on this level, but also because of what it signifies, I think, for Joey McGuire and the Red Raider football program as far as the type of players that they are attracting to the 806. So will be some time before we see him in a Red Raider uniform, but anyway, you slice it. A good day and big news in West Texas.
Does your chain hang low? I think, this was much anticipated, long awaited. I mean, all that stuff. You wish you could have had this thing done and put to bed, several weeks ago. But I think there was a lot of thought originally that, hey, man, this is a player that's not going to do anything quickly. He may have a ceremony, in mid-December, but it's happened now. Everybody knows the score. I think Texas Tech, because there's a couple of different conversations here to have. The first one is, as a player, this is a top 10 player in the country. Okay, based on whatever service, I think last I looked, Rivals.com is the ones that we've worked for since 2002, so long time with RedRaidersports.com, and I think he's the sixth player in the country overall, regardless of position. And I think that tells you what you're dealing with here. This is just an explosive, twitchy playmaker that is just really good at football, and I think. Would he be the best receiver in your team if he were to play this year? Yes, he would. Would he, and I think, and that's not a knock on Loic or Jerron Bradley or Miles Price or Dre McCrary. Don't misunderstand that. But this is a different deal. And you hope that he can realize that potential here. The other part of the conversation, Cowan, is that, everybody's dancing in the streets and excited about this news, but here's the next thing. Joey would start to like for this to become the norm a bit. I don't know if you can get the sixth player in the country every single year, but you want to kind of create a sense of normal here with these kinds of wins. To where getting the four-star guys, it's like, okay, you added multiple, and maybe you're in on the five-star type guy. But this is a perception win as much as the reality of the win that you have and the tangible player that you've added. Again, he can't sign until December, so you theoretically haven't added anybody just yet. But I think feel pretty comfortable in the commitment level of Micah Hudson based on how many times he's been up here in the relationships. But guys like James Blanchard, guys like Brian Nance, guys like Kirk Bryant, some of these people, you don't know their names. These were very prevalent in the Micah Hudson recruitment, much less Joey McGuire and Zach Kitley, Juice Johnson, and all those kinds of folks. There's a lot of time that's been spent on relationship building and getting to know mom and player, and whatever was needed or just the amount of text messages and just trying to, again, build relationships. I think all those folks right there deserve a ton of credit for getting this thing done. But that's what won out, man. It's relationships, and this is where he's comfortable. I think he's excited about it, and so away we go.
Yeah, you beat out the likes of Southern Methodist, Colorado, Cincinnati, and then every damn body else in the country. Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Aggies, Longhorns, Florida, all your typical enemies and opponents.
SEC, Big Ten, the rest of the Big 12. You beat them all. Everybody wanted this kid or offered him. That's the reality of it. And they'll come back after him. That's the way this is going to work. That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a player like that. Well, in fact, we will be asked about this leading up to signing day. Hey, man, is he still – I hear some rumors. You know, is he still firm? Is he still firm? You know, so, yeah, that'll be a thing up until he, you know, Texas Tech announces his national letter of intent.
You were kind of talking about the draw to the program for others as a result of, you know, something like this. And that was one of the first things I thought about. Excited to see what Hudson specifically can do for you someday. But you have to imagine also that other talented players notice things like this, and you hope that that's really going to be attractive. I mean, with the wide receiver, you would, of course, you know, instantly think about a quarterback or whatever it might be. But I think when you're talking about general talent, obviously, guys want to be a part of something that's going to be successful and that other talented guys want to be a part of. So hopefully this will be a big boon as well moving forward with other names on the recruiting trail.
Yep. And I'd be remiss if I did not also mention, because you just said being a part of something and all that, I think Baron Morton deserves a lot of credit here too. This is going to be Micah Hudson's guy, I think, immediately when he gets here. And I think that little relationship and bond and all that stuff certainly played a factor. And I think Baron spent a lot of time with Micah in his various trips up here. And I think that is important to note because I think, you know, as they say, real recognize real. And if he doesn't like what he's seeing from a quarterback standpoint or whatever it may be, he'd be like, man, I want somebody that can sling it, give me the ball. But I think he clearly sees that in Baron Morton. But yeah, it's just a fun one, man. I mean, I think you kind of win some PR battles and some positive news and some energy, you know, vibes and all those things in the month of months of June and July. It doesn't count for anything, but that's it's fun for fans, I know, certainly, and it's really fun for, you know, guys like Coach McGuire, Coach Kitley, and all those folks that I mentioned earlier, because they have soon a new toy to play with that is legit.
Well, I wanted to ask you, without putting you in a position to where, you know, you have to say he's Jerry Rice or Michael Crabtree, what can we expect as a player? Does he remind you skill set wise of this guy or that guy? I don't want to take anything away from him being unique unto himself, but you know what I'm saying. And we get so quick and saying, oh, he's Crabtree, he's this, he's that, which is as lofty as it gets. So we don't have to go there, but what is kind of a description of some of what he brings to the table skill set wise? But first, today's episode brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and the official sportsbook of Locked On. And right now is the perfect time to take your first swing and bet with FanDuel, because you could get 10 times your first bet amount back in bonus bets, up to $200. That's right. Just bet 20 and you're landing $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. That's $200 you can spend betting everything from the money line, over-unders, or anything in between, all on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Download it today in the App Store or head on over to FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. And of course, when you're a winner with FanDuel, you're getting paid instantly. Just one of the many reasons why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. So sign up today and visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get up to $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon, and start the fun today with FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball. We get so quick and saying, oh, he's Crabtree, he's this, he's that, which is as lofty as it gets. So we don't have to go there, but what is kind of a description of some of what he brings to the table skill set wise?
Yeah, I think I mentioned the toy, and it's legit. It's like you landed your Red Ryder BB gun. I mean, it's the holy grail of toys. I think you're right to compare, like, use Crabtree. Like, here's one way I would say there are similarities in that I think people were stunned at the NFL level, or to find out how not small, but how, I guess, not big Michael Crabtree actually was when you stood next to him. If you watch him play, this looks like 6'4", 220. Yeah. This looks like monster hands. In all reality, Michael Crabtree is 6'1" and 205. And not world-class speed, okay? However, Micah Hudson is the same, in the same vein. Michael Crabtree played so much bigger than he actually was, just because angles, explosiveness. He just snatched that ball out of the air, and this is kind of what you see with Micah Hudson. It's just explosiveness. He's got some speed to him, make no mistake, but it's his quickness and route running, ball skills. But I just go back to explosiveness. That's where he's so much different than really everybody else playing high school football in the country and that's why he's rated as a top 10 player. It's that, like kind of video game type stuff. It's like he's Jakeem Grant-esque in that he's like a joystick, but has more speed and some more size to go with it. And some strength and all that. But that's really, route running, yes. Ball skills, yes. Speed, sure. But it's explosiveness. That's what makes him so much different. And that's why he's very difficult to cover, because it's like quick step, and he's got you going the wrong way, and yet he's caught it going the opposite way. And, it's a problem. And that's going to be a lot of fun.
A quick slant on the 5-yard line or the fade, either one. It was just money in the bank. You felt like with number 5 out there. And I'm picking up what you're putting out with that description, playing bigger than maybe the measurables would tell you. Because, Crabtree seemed like a bully. I mean, physical. And that was a group of wide receivers. That was back in the era of Texas Tech's wide receivers really taking pride in being extremely physical, blocking on the outside, being one of the toughest positional groups on the team. And love to have that in place once again. So we know the answer. Does your chain hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? Can you tie it in a knot? Can you tie it in a bow? Would you throw your chain over your shoulder like a Continental soldier? Almost got through it. And Joey McGuire says yes this time around, as does Micah Hudson to the Red Raiders. So celebrate it all you want, because it is certainly worthy of celebration. And one thing I'm really interested in, Chris, as the days tick by and we get further into his time as a Red Raider, name, image, likeness opportunity, because typically, at least I personally think about guys in that realm getting here, establishing something, building it up, and then taking advantage of it, which he will certainly still have to do. But a guy that arrives with this kind of presence may be a little bit of a new experience as far as NIL at Texas Tech is concerned. So I think that could really be an interesting part of it also as we get down the road a little ways. But congratulations to Coach McGuire and Micah Hudson, and obviously the staff and all those that you mentioned have been involved up to this point. And hopefully it works out well, when we get actually to football with Micah Hudson and the Red Raiders. But finally, at long last, the secret has been revealed. Micah Hudson set to be a Red Raider. So that makes it a good day. Chris, enjoyed a little time with you for this emergency episode, and let's do it again, man. Next time there's a 5-star signing up, I promise you I will be available.
Absolutely, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of them, man. Yeah, gimme. Yeah, so
let's get greedy.
Absolutely. But enjoyed it, man. Tech fans, I think this is what you envisioned when Joey McGuire became the head coach, is winning these kinds of battles. And again, there's not a meaningful program in the country that you didn't beat out for this prospect. And you just, again, the hope is that he comes here and he's extremely productive and healthy and has a great career. But these need to become the norm. You need to try to win these battles regularly, and that's what the Georgias and the Michigans and the Ohio States and Alabamas do year in and year out, which is why you watch them on New Year's Day every year.
That's right. All right, thanks for joining us for this emergency coming in hot episode of Locked On Texas Tech. That's why you want to be subscribed on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts so you never miss an episode. For Chris Level, I'm Casey Cowan. Hope you'll join us again for the next round right back here on Locked On Texas Tech.